Good morning, or good afternoon, whatever the time may be that you're going to be watching this. I want to share with you something that the Lord laid on my heart earlier this morning. It has to do with reaching out to the Lord for understanding, for wisdom, to know what is needed. That it kind of better help what's that mean and how that is applied. If you turn with me to Proverbs chapter 2, Proverbs chapter 2 will begin with verse 1. It says, "My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee." So this is an if. If you do this, if you receive my words and hide my commandments with thee. So if you do this, so that thou incline thine ear, and this is the purpose behind of it, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to the understanding. So if you do this for this purpose, if you do it for the purpose of inclining your heart to wisdom and applying your heart to understanding. So not just if you do this, if you do it for the purpose of this. So when you receive his words and you hide the commandments in his heart for the purpose for inclining thine heart to wisdom and applying that heart to understanding. So if you doing it this way, at this particular purpose and this particular reason, if you criest out after knowledge and liftest up thy voice for understanding. So if you do this, so he's saying if, this is the second if though, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hid treasures or hidden treasures, then, now that's a lot of ifs at the beginning before it gets to the then. If you do this. Now he wants to make sure that if you do all of these things, then verse 5, shalt thou understand the fear. And that is the reverence of it. Not necessarily the being scared fear, but that you will understand the reverence of the fear, the reverence of the Lord, and find the knowledge of God. A lot of times we think of gathering information of the Lord as something that's simple. You know, we go through life and we just think, Lord, I don't understand what's going on here. But we understand that this is a building block to get to that pivotal point. If you receive my words and hide your commandments. So this is what you have to do. You have to receive his words and hide his commandments for the purpose of inclining your ear to wisdom and applying that heart to understanding. So you want to do this for this reason. If you criest after knowledge and liftest up thy voice for understanding, and if you seek her as silver and search her as a hidden treasure. So it's something that you want to seek after like you would for riches. And now if somebody say, if you dig here, you can get buried treasure. Well, you would search after a shovel and you would, dig as much as you could until you found that. And he's saying, I want you to use that same emphasis, and then I will give you'll have the fear of the Lord. You'll have respect. Now, if you do that much just to have somebody give you understanding, give you that, if you do all of these things, you put devotion into your action. It's not a simple, Lord help me. It's all of these things before. And then it goes on and it says what he'll do. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. He keepeth the path of the judgment and preserveth the way of the saints. So this is ultimately what you're going to get. You're going to get somebody that gives wisdom and knowledge and understanding what you're seeking after. Sound wisdom, not just wisdom, but sound wisdom, trustworthy wisdom. And keepeth the paths of the judgment and preserveth the way of the saints. So this is coming from a person that you can trust. So if you do all of these things, then the Lord will do this, for this is the attributes of who this person that you're trying to seek is. Then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. So if you do this for this reason, you'll learn to fear the Lord, and this is the reason and the purpose of the person that you're trying to seek after, his attributes found from verse 6 to verse 8. And then it says, then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. Now, why would you want to do this? If we go down to the next verses, verse 10, it says, when wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discerning shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things. So you're seeking after this knowledge, this understanding. You're seeking after the attributes of this person from 6 to 8, and you're doing it like you would for buried treasure, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things. So you want to understand and discern evil. And the reason for that is found in the next few verses. Who leave the paths of the uprighteous to walk in the ways of darkness. Evil doesn't just come into your life by happenstance. It just doesn't just happen. You could have something evil in your way, in your path, and it may be this silent darkness that's just coming in the outward parts of your brain. So you're trying to seek after wisdom and understanding because it can leave the paths of the uprighteous. Somebody that would fear the Lord, somebody that would read their Bible, somebody that would train up their children in the way that they should do, somebody that you would never think would be able to falter at all. And it says in the latter part of verse 13, to walk in the ways of darkness. The reason why you're searching after God and His wisdom and His understanding and everything is so you won't go after the ways of darkness. And we as Christians were foolish to think that we will not be able to be pulled into darkness. So we should seek after wisdom and understanding so that we don't. And another part of verse 14, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the forwardness of wicked. They rejoice to do evil. And delight in the forwardness of the wicked. There is people out there that will rejoice over wickedness. Like people rejoice over something that happens that's good. You know, somebody gives their life over to Christ. Somebody has a child. Somebody's able to, to get a job, or, whatever things would be good, they would rejoice over. But this other person would rejoice over the opposite. Somebody that lost their child, somebody that lost their job, somebody that turned their way away from God and became the way of the world. There's people that rejoice over evil, whose ways are crooked and they forward in their paths. The very ways of them is crooked. Their desires, their path in life is not the straight path, is not the righteous path. It is a crooked and a wrong path. Pretty much anything that you would think of, not to go into the path of, these are the people that do the complete opposite of. And in this proverb, you're just asking for understanding and discernment from what? To deliver thee from the way of the evil man. And then it explains what the evil man is between 13 to 15. So this proverb, you're just asking for discernment, you're asking for understanding, and you're asking it from God, because we ourselves, we don't understand that. We can't really see it in our own selves. because we ourselves are fleshly sometimes, and then we can easily be pushed aside. So it wants to have discernment, like, okay, well, if I make this choice, if I make this decision, if I do that, do I have pride? Do I have hatred? Do I have, whatever is hidden in my hearts or in my minds? You want to have discerning understanding of what's going on, so you don't end up like this. And then it goes, the next few verses about, from a strange woman. Let's just skip over from 16 to 19. We'll go to verse 20, and it says, that thou mayest walk in the way of good men. So you want to have discerning, you want to have this understanding, and you want to have, inclining your heart to God so He can give you the wisdom, that thou mayest walk in the way of good men and keep the paths of the righteous. Because the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. The wicked shall be cut off from the earth. There's nothing more that a wicked person would rather have than a righteous person to walk in the same ways. Now we understand that our faith and trust in Jesus Christ and the forgiveness of sins, and we understand that is a forgiveness of sins, not just for the past sins, it's for the present and the future as well. But this Proverbs chapter 2, gives us kind of an understanding that we need to seek wisdom not from my neighbor, not from somebody that I'm close to, help me not to do this. It's saying that you want to seek it ultimately from God. God, help me to have discernment. God, help me to be able to understand where I need to not walk, where I need to not talk, where I need to not be physically, as emotionally, in what other way to keep us away from walking in the paths of the unrighteous. And the reason why we need God is because we don't have it in ourselves. And you may be asking somebody to help you that they may be struggling too. And the only one that really can help us in our path is God. So Proverbs chapter 2 gives us a perfect way if you're struggling with something, if you feel like you're going in the wrong direction or you feel like you're being pulled. This is a reminder that we need to pray to God for that understanding, for that discernment, from that, the paths, to get back on the right path. Where are we going astray, to give us understanding, to give us knowledge of what to do. So my prayer for you is that if you're going through something, if you feel as if you're going in the wrong direction, or you feel like something is pulling you, or maybe somebody in your family or something, pray for that. God will help you be able to understand and discern what's going on. He'll open up your eyes so that you can see things that you might not otherwise see. So my prayer for you is that you would do that. Seek the Lord for His understanding, for His knowledge, so that you won't go in the paths of the unrighteous. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you, and I hope you have a good day.